So I'm gonna be blunt. This should have been done like 3 weeks ago, but the first few minutes got corrupted, and I just had to redo that part of the video. And by that I mean I had it separated into three separate clips because I had to record it at three separate times. And the first 5 minutes of the first 7 minute clip, absolutely just did nothing with moving the pictures. So that happened. Uh, So I'm gonna be covering that part of the trailer again. But basically, this is a half-assed analysis. I'm not gonna go into every detail that I know, just because some of it's not as easily portrayed in the trailer. I'm just mostly gonna be looking at the trailer, seeing what I can see, and what have you. Now, people have already done this all the time. I don't even really know why I'm still trying to do it. I just want to do it for views, and I'm not gonna lie. So let's just get right into it. And yeah, Xenoblade's gonna be a good game. And it already is, whatever. Starting off, we have flutes. Uh, I don't know how story important they're going to be, but we have heard that they're going to be a huge part of the music, which I am all for. I love flutes. When it comes to listening to music, can be a bit annoying, but I still like them. I like music. Music is one of my favorite things about the Xenoblade games. So I look forward to the OST as everyone who likes Xenoblade should. But let's take a look at the actual scene. This is Noah, one of the main protagonists. We still don't really know how that's gonna all work out. Uh, and he's an off-seer who basically helps pass on those who have died, maybe, or like he mourns them. He's basically, I don't know, like a priest almost, except he's a soldier. He basically, I don't know. He performs ceremonies for the dead. That's basically all we know. He's a soldier too, for I believe it's Kevas or Teves. Kevin. Yeah, he's a soldier and an officer. He does things. That's all we really know.
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight.
I don't know who his voice actor is. I really want to know who all the English voice actors are. Uh, but that phrase seems to be very paramount to the game and what it's about. So, fighting in order to live, I think we've kind of seen as maybe one side of the war's ideal, and the other side, and living to fight is the other side's kind of ideal with how they live. I don't know if that's true, but that's how a lot of people have been interpreting it. I think it's more likely that that's how the people with a certain ability or curse almost, at least it seems like a curse right now from how it's been portrayed in the trailer. We'll get into it a bit more later, but I think that's what it's referring to is the curse or ability or whatever. All right, so as you can see right there, top of the screen, that is a tank that just got blown up. So whatever's they're being hit by is pretty tough. I don't know. That's just something I noticed at one point, and it's just something you need to see need the Wilhelm scream over, even though it's probably just some kind of robot.
That's the way of our world.
So this scene is very reminiscent of Xenoblade 1, except the only difference really well, actually, it is reminiscent of Xenoblade 1 when the Homs were fighting the Mechon. I was going to say that, but in this case, there's tanks and stuff, but there were the mobile artilleries in 1. What is different here, however, is that thing. So for those that haven't played Xenoblade 1, or even those that have, this will probably remind you of a Mechon. So I don't know if Miss Leader Woman took inspiration from them, or if someone in the weapons development did. Maybe this is Schultz doing, who knows? But that is a Mechon sort of thing, and I get the feeling we're going to fight one of these. Monsters in this game seem to be really big at some times, so I would not be shocked if this thing is absolutely gigantic.
Tell me.
Another look at Noah. He's a pretty boy. I actually do like his design. It's not too complex like some others are, but it's not bad either. I know a lot of people don't like Rex's design, and Shulk's can be whatever you want it to be, but I like Dretch's design well enough. I won't claim that it looks great, but it fits who he is and what he does. Anyway, looking back at Noah, his sword. A lot of people are calling it the next Minato. I don't think it's going to be anything really special. Probably just a custom-made weapon. I'm hoping, and this is a huge hope, that you can still customize weapons or like change weapons. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I really like the equipment system from Xenoblade 1 because it's just so fun to mess around with. That said, I'm also more fond of Xenoblade 2's combat, so I can't really ask for either. But maybe it's going to be something entirely different. But yeah, I don't think his sword's going to be anything particularly special, just a custom-made weapon for him. And to give an idea of what it's like compared to the other Kevis soldier, because he is a soldier from this side, you've got great swords there, guns, you've got a regular sword. Something you'll notice in this shot is that there are very few great swords. There's mostly guns in the square blades.
That's the way of
So we've seen one. There's the second. Yeah, we've only seen two. So I don't know if they're like specialized roles or whatnot.
What would possess you to What would possess
Hold on, there's something I want to see. This is very hard to do. Okay, so if you saw it there was a ring in the middle of the air. Yeah, there. I don't know if Noah threw that at Mio or if that was returning to her. It's very possible either one could happen. But, yeah, meet Nia 2.0.
Tell me,
Oops.
what would possess you to side with them?
I don't really know what that's implying, but, I mean, we got another Twin Rings cat girl user. And I'm going to be honest, I think I might like this one more than Nia, especially with the design. I'm not a big fan of base Nia's design. It gets better later on, as a spoiler alert. Oops. But, yeah, I think I'm going to like her. A lot of people are simping for Uni over her, but I think Mio's going to be better.
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
So yeah, that just happened. He didn't get cut, but he also lost blood. That's a little weird. Maybe he just got smacked in the jaw and spit out blood.
Possess you to side.
So yeah, I guess she's... Oh my god, this is already... We're already well past where I left the pre-recorded audio on. I'm also basically just woke up. Anyway. So she... You can see a core crystal on her chest, which implies that she is a blade. Although I think it's more possible that this is a sign that you're from Agnes, which is the Xenoblade 2 nation. And whenever we get another chance, which we should in a second, we'll see the sign that you might be from the Kevis nation. Not much more to really talk about with Mio, at least right now, but yes, she is siding with someone. I know they're childhood friends, I believe, and they're both Offseers. But other than that, we don't really know much about the story revolving around why they're fighting.
With them.
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're...
And this is Lance. This is basically the Rhine of this game.
There are enemies to kill.
I refuse to...
He's very defensive, bit of a blunt person, or like, he's straightforward. He's probably not very intelligent either. Sorry, Ryan. No, I'm not. He knows I'm right. But more importantly than all that, probably, on his chin is a mark. I believe this is the mark that you are from Kevis. Because both Noah and Uni, who we have yet to see, but I'll point it out there, both of them have this mark. As well as someone else in the trailer that we don't know anything about.
Believe you're...
This line makes no goddamn sense to me, and I don't really know. Once we're also looking at it, his weapon is what those two great swords in the army were using. So it is a defensive sort of weapon, so it makes sense that there'd be less of them. So yeah, the attack managed to block Sena, who is known to have superhuman physical strength. Like, extremely superhuman physical strength.
I knew it.
Yeah, this is Sena. She is Bridget's child, essentially. We don't actually know that for sure, but she's very reminiscent of Bridget with her hair, kind of. She uses a hammer, and she is definitely a blade. Even if Mio isn't, she definitely is. And I'm guessing blades are more like they're changed basically to be an actual species rather than, a weapon. A lot of people like to simper. Everyone is 18, except for Mio, who is 19, which, I mean, cool, I guess. It would make sense since they're all probably part of the army. Sana is also considers Mio to be a big sis, which is kind of neat.
I saw this coming.
You are.
This dude, I need answers. Everyone needs answers. A lot of people are saying that maybe this is Zeke, maybe this is Rex, maybe this is random reincarnated. He's definitely a Van Damme. He looks exactly like Xenoblade 2 Van Damme, except he has longer hair, I think. Actually, the main thing is that he has an eye patch. I don't really know. We don't know enough about him. We just know that he's not our enemy.
You're not enemies now.
This dude, he also has the same mark as Noah, Lance, and Uni. We haven't actually met Uni yet. I'm gonna be honest, this guy is either the villain, like hidden villain away, oh my god, who would have seen it coming? Or he is the mentor of Noah and Mio, who's either passed away, or went missing, or is still a villain, but is their mentor. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time.
So yeah, obviously they did train together. This line, fine for you, isn't it, all that time you've got? This is relating to something that we see a bit when Uni talks about it. I don't know if I cover it in this section or the next. But yeah, they have clocks in their eyes, basically, that they have to fill up, or maybe they die or whatever. They just mention it later.
You could try to move.
So I'm guessing what this is about is Mio is running out of time because of some past PTSD that she can't move on from, or like something that she doesn't want to do, and Noah has been basically excelling at increasing his time. So it's like privileged boy with no problems looking at the one with all the problems, and it's like that two separate worlds kind of colliding. That might be a bad way of putting it, but you would get the picture.
Forwards again.
And this is the one everyone likes. Hyentia returns. She is a Hyentia. She has a gun staff. I was about to say gun lance because I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise. She's gonna be extremely foul-mouthed, and Lance apparently likes that about her. That's about all I've got, really. She speaks very weird. How can Elias mean so snuffing little to you? I hope she always says that, and I hope she never swears and only says stuff like snuffing.
Snuffing little, do you?
They're not.
And this is the dude that's going to be the support role for combat. I initially liked him. I think during the actual game, he's going to be the least favorite party member of basically everyone. They're not your friends anymore.
Your friends anymore.
They're his fuel. This line is reminiscent of Zanza in Xenoblade 1, where the people of Metanus, or the people of Bionis, were essentially just fueled for the Bionis. That's about all we've really got there. It's just that one close relation. We don't really know what this is referring to, though. Tyon seems like the type of person who really can't go against whatever the government or the power is telling him to, out of fear or whatever. But he's the paper bird nerd, which is pretty neat. I look forward to seeing how he fights. Immediately we start getting like scenes of areas and stuff. And oh my god, this game is just as beautiful as the other two. So here we have a place very reminiscent of Gormont, or maybe Gar Plain. I think both of them are very close together. I think this actually might be Gar Plain, or it's a part of Gormont that's near Gar Plain, because like in the background in the left there, you can kind of see something that reminds me of like an overhang indoor plane. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, thank you.
Sword match.
This is the Distant Fingertip from Xenoblade 1, which is a place nowhere near what that background shows, which reminds me of Xenoblade 1 Star Plane. And in the background, way in the background, from you can see Xenoblade 2's my brain's dying. Orion Titan, which we've seen has apparently been injured. If this honestly, this may also be the Bionis shoulder. This area. I don't remember Future Connected very well, but I believe that is very possible. It kind of gives me that vibe, but I don't really remember.
Land pierced by a great sword.
And that right there is the Mechonis sword from Xenoblade 2, or Xenoblade 1. I don't know why it's here, I don't know how it got here, but it is here. And this is Gormott. This is absolutely Gormott that Noah is currently walking on. This I believe is still the Distant Fingertip, or it's very reminiscent of the Distant Fingertip, because that does look like a fingertip right there. Something to point out here, and this was on the Distant Fingertip as well, that I failed to mention. Actually, you know what? I can actually see on that finger that we see right there is the Distant Fingertip platform. So yeah, this is the Distant Fingertip. How many times can I say Distant Fingertip in one day? But on the right, you can see item orbs, and I'm very certain that these are similar to Xenoblade 1 item orbs, which I am A-okay with. I did not like the item collection in Xenoblade 2. It just wasn't as fun for me. I don't know why. Something about Xenoblade 1's item collection just gave me extreme dopamine. So yeah, now we're controlling Mio, so both of them are confirmed to be playable. Now we're controlling... Okay, well, hold on, you're going too fast.
Pierced by a great sword.
So yeah, playing as Noah, Mio, controlling lands. Not much really to note here. I think that I don't know, that's a Titan in the background, I think, maybe, like, on the right side. I don't know where this is. On the left there, you can see the kind of plant-like things. That's actually, one of those plant-like things is an enemy. It's a Camille, I believe. Just worth pointing out, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, this exists as a big weapon. Now we're playing as Sena. And this area, honestly, it reminds me a lot of, like, Morardane. I think this is Morardane. That's about all I really have to say there. This reminds me of Magna Falls a little bit, maybe. Playing as Uni, so this definitely feels like Hyentia area. You can see another item orb there. Not much else to really gain from this part. This reminds me of Tantal. I think this might be a Tantal area, which I guess could mean that Taion is Tantalese. Again, not much else to get there, aside from Taion playable, yeah.
Anyway, you're gonna...
I'm gonna be honest, I am completely looking over the fact that there is text going on right now, because I don't want to talk about it. This place, I have no fucking clue what this place could be. I think I'd go over this later because I realized something. But in the middle there is a platform with smoke. I believe that is the Fog King doing shenanigans. Or it's just something that we have to dispel. Maybe it's like Ether Miasma, which was not used nearly enough in Xenoblade 2. But, I mean, whatever, we can keep going on. Okay, so this is about where this first section is going to end. I'm going to be talking... I talked about the levels in the background, because I like predicting these things, what level enemies are going to be or whatever. Those are quad wings, which weren't very noticeable in 2, because they were very small enemies compared to in Xenoblade 1. I think these guys are going to be like level 30 to 40. As you can see, we have 4 party members here, 2 from each nation. So obviously this is at a point where the two groups come together. So I think that is very likely mid-game, level 30 to 40. Alright, and those levels may be a bit off, because we don't really know where we're going to be going, but this is also a good time to bring up There are 4 party members on the field. You can see Senna, Mio, Lance, and Noah, 2 from each region. So it is pretty much confirmed that we kind of join forces at some point, and that all of these characters can be at the field at the same time. But big news is that 4 party members on the field at one time is unheard of. Well, unheard of in a way. Usually you can only have 3 on the field at a time and 3 in battles, so it's possible maybe there's going to be like someone further in the back, or there's going to be like different structures like a front line, mid line, and back line. Hard to really say, but we have this. So 4 party members is a thing to look forward to.
Enemy.
Okay, this.
Enemy.
This is a big thing to get into. First off, big man right in the middle, possibly a super boss. I haven't played X, but I know that there are some massive enemies in that game. But just by looking at this, I feel like that thing is ultra dangerous. It could be like level 50, but I really feel like it's either like a super boss or like 80s, 90s levels. Enemy design is great though. And on the left are some turrets, I believe. They're either turrets or Tau. It's one of the two, and I want to say that they're level 70 or higher. In Torn of the Golden Country, there were some early game Tau that were like level 17 or something, so this could be an early game location, but I'm guessing that these are late game enemies or like high level enemies, because if they're turrets, they're pretty much guaranteed to be over level 80, because I think that's how they do the naming, is below level 80, they're Tau. And once they hit level, and like enemies that are level 80, but of that same species, they're called Terex, and they look a little different. It's sort of like the Ardens and Ardurans. Probably a couple of other things in there, like Armu, maybe. Yeah. And then, obviously, the big guy. I forget if there was something else. I don't think I see anything else here too worthy of note. Although there is a big old tree to the right. And this might be Leftheria, just by looking at it now, because there's the beach, there's what looks like almost like Titan-like structures, although it might just be rock formations. And on the left you can see a collectible in the water, which doesn't really matter, but it's there if you want to look at it. This. We're going to see it in a second once they actually start moving, but it looks like the swimming mechanic is a bit different. Also, we can see that Uni and Tyon are in the party now. I think it's Tyon, right? Yeah. But there's an enemy there in the middle of the water. You have no land nearby. What you gonna do? I think there's a chance for some kind of water combat. Although, as we're about to see in a second, there is a boat, and that might be how you're supposed to deal with this. Also, towards the right, is that a fog effect? Yeah, that's a fog effect. This might be an indication that the fog beasts are back in a way, and it might be like area was restricted or like polluted by the fog beasts or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna take another look at the scene in a second.
Sword.
I just want to get a better look at that in full view.
You're gonna defeat the real enemy.
Ooh, a couple things to note.
Sword.
Hold up. I don't know why that came up again. Nope, not here. It's here. Directly in the middle, that island in the middle, just to the left of Mio. That is another area with that fog effect. I think that's going to have a huge part in this. I really wasn't planning to analyze all this, but now that I'm taking a good look at it while trying to talk and like notice things to point out to actually make content, I'm noticing these things, and now all these questions that I hadn't had over the past week are starting to pop up.
Defeat the real
I don't think it's anywhere here.
enemy.
Okay, on the right here. Look on the right, the far right of the screen. There is some flapping. I don't really know what that was. Some kind of bigger enemy. Oh my god, please cease. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it flapped. It sure did. I think I'm going to like this area. This area is going to be really fun to navigate. And And then, yeah, the fog area here, so we're probably going to have to dispel that or something, or I don't know. Like, maybe it's an indication that enemies are stronger, fiercer, whatever. Oh yeah, also, you saw there, Mio had a jump in the water. So I think the swimming is going to have somewhat more advanced controls than just hopping in the water and paddling along with one arm. Here, we got a boat. There's Letheria in the back, maybe. I'm not really sure. It kind of looks like Letheria, and I'm kind of hoping that we get to see Letheria, the main Letheria Titan that was originally hidden behind the clouds, because I think that's going to have a sick design. Also, just to the right of the boat, as you can see, there's a Gyarados. Pokemon confirmed.
Have a life.
Big laser reminds me of Metal Face. It's probably getting one of those Mechon machine-like things.
I won't
And here it looks like
let you soldier.
maybe Mio and Tyon are fighting? It's also possible that this is part of what Tyon does to support in battle,
All alone. What?
but I find that kind of hard to believe. On the left, you can see, which I just paused this now, so I'm only noticing this for the first time now. You got Lance and Noah on the left, probably getting ready to fight someone, and you've got Uni here with her gunblade, and Mio, or is that Sena about to attack her?
Good.
It's Mio landing next to her. I don't know.
Filling up these
And this is Tyon supporting Uni.
flickering crop.
These two, I forget what their names are. I'm gonna check real quick, because we do have the names.
It's in all right. It'll
They are Riku and Manana. Get back to that now.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you soldier it all alone. What good filling up these flickering crops and
Yeah, so Riku on the left, Manana on the right. It looks like they might both be playable, which I guess would mean 8 party members? Or maybe you get to choose one. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of really want to play as the Napon on the left. He looks very badass for a Napon, I won't lie. He does. A lot of people are saying Ret's Napon, and he kinda is, but I think he's gonna have his own bit of identity in a way. Unless, you know, Ret suddenly was reincarnated as a Napon, which I think a lot of people would make fun of.
all right. It'll never replace the friends we've lost.
The flame clock. And as Uni just said, what's good filling up these flickering clocks in her eyes? I think, like, a lot of people have theorized on what this might be. You know, you have to fill up the clock or you're gonna die. And this goes back to what Mio said about Noah having a lot of time left. And I guess if that sort of thing is the case, where you have to fill up that clock to survive, sort of, it could be either based on person to person, or it could be based on one specific thing. You know, sort of like with the former being sort of like Plunderer the anime, which is an alright anime. You should check it out. The flame clock here, I don't really know what this is about. It looks like it's from Mio's world, so something Nia decided to create. It might not be. I don't know. If that in the center right there, between the two of them, is the clock, it looks like it's about half full. You probably do a fight with it, and by the end of the fight, it's full. And something hell breaks loose.
Flame clock, it has to go.
Hi! Hi, Melia. The fuck are you doing? And what is Ouroboros? Ouroboros abhor this world. I believe that means... I forget what abhor means. I checked. I don't remember.
Are to bore this world. They must
And Nia.
be erased.
Hello, Nia. You having fun going against everything you've told Morag? We really have no idea why these guys are here. We don't know what's going on with them. We just know that they're Melia and Nia, and they're fighting. And they're stupid.
That's trace.
And they're at a war. And this scene. Wow, this scene. If you remember earlier, I mentioned the sword and the Orion Titan. This is why, because you can see them both very close to each other here. Now, that might be a coincidence just for the title backdrop, but if they are this close, that probably means a very interconnected world, which I look forward to so much. That said, that's about all I've got to really say. Anything else, we're going to have to wait for either another trailer or the game's release. If I miss any details, let me know in the comments below. I will not be making another analysis video, and if there's another trailer, I'll watch it. If there's a direct, I will not, because I don't want to know too many details. Yeah, that's about it. See you guys later.